Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Mob Psycho Season 2. It's been quite a journey. This has been the most amazing season that I've seen in a long time. It's been a while since I've seen an anime season this good, and especially to make it bump up on my scale of favorite anime. It's probably my number 3 right now. I mean, it did amazingly well, but it's a pretty freaking god tier episode, so let's get into it. So the fight picks up exactly where it left off. I mean, it goes right into the action, and it is insanely good. The animation is just... Where did they get the budget? I don't understand. Everybody always complains or gives an excuse that the reason why an anime episode or anime season is not that great is because they didn't have a high budget. Or you see one episode where it's amazing and the rest of them are kind of crap because they used a budget on that episode. Well, what's the excuse for Mob Psycho? Every episode has been amazing. I don't understand. Do they have infinite budget? Is that what the thing is going on? But anyways, amazing start to the episode. The fight is incredible. Them going back-to-back Mob versus Suzuki, fighting it out. Now remember, Suzuki's only using 10% of his power, and Mob is going like all in. I mean, he is going full force on this guy, trying to crush him in rocks. Mob's getting crushed in rocks. There's skyscrapers flying everywhere, buildings everywhere. It's just epic. It is epic on god level tier, basically. I know I already said that, but my gosh, amazing so far. This anime is just incredible. So Suzuki starts to get like, okay, Mob's doing pretty good. Let's bump it up to 20% power. It's like, oh my god, this is only 20% of this guy's power? I mean, he starts shooting just blasts everywhere. This starts to feel like more like Dragon Ball Z than anything else. I mean, did anyone else feel that? Like the aura that's around them when they're flying around and the blasts that are hitting everywhere. Just the attacks that they were using. This felt like Dragon Ball Z. Or like a cross between Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia, like both together. Mob's enjoying this fight. I mean, he kind of loses his mind. He goes psycho. So Mob Psycho is for a reason, because this kid goes psycho. I mean, he's laughing. He has this crazed look in his face. And he's just using his powers freely, just blasting everything. Until he sees his brother's face looking up at him. And then Mob realizes that he shouldn't be doing this. This isn't what he wanted to do. He didn't want to use his powers like this. And it makes him feel so bad that he just, he kind of stops for a moment and freaks out and gets hit really hard out of the way, and the fight resumes. I mean, Mob is just, he's distraught. He goes through so many emotions in this episode. This is when Suzuki decides, you know what, 20%? No. Let's go 50%. It's like, oh my god, halfway there. Halfway to 100, huh? It gets crazy. This guy gets like veins all over his face. Like his body starts to change with how much power he's outputting. It's just craziness. Until he sees Mob crying for him. He's like, why are you crying for me? And Mob's like, I don't want to hurt you. I want to help you. I don't want to be fighting right now. And it's like, it's kind of heartbreaking because, you know, Mob's too genuine for this. He can't be a villainous type of persona like that Suzuki is. And that's not where it stops, because Mob's like, you know what? I don't want to hurt you. I'm crying for you, but I'm going to have to end this. He starts throwing freaking skyscrapers at Suzuki. We have whole entire buildings flying through the air like it's nothing. What kind of freaking powers are these? This isn't even psychic powers anymore. This is more like Mewtwo never did stuff like this. He just created a storm and tried to kill everybody. He never took whole buildings up and started throwing them around. What is going on in this anime? And then Mob decides that's not enough. I'm going to use planetary devastation on Suzuki. If you've never seen Naruto, then you don't know what that is. But in Naruto, there's a move called Planetary Devastation that looks exactly like this. It just takes all the rubble of the earth and makes a huge ball to, like, seal the person away. And it looked like Planetary Devastation, only with skyscrapers. It was incredible. Incredible. And some of the things they used to show, like, how the buildings are moving. Like you see Mob and then see the buildings coming up past him. Just incredible. The art direction, the animation, everything was on point in this episode. However, it's not enough because Suzuki just burrows out of that like nothing. Grabs, like punches Mob, grabs him by the leg. He throws Mob like he's a ragdoll. Mob is just flying everywhere, going through buildings, getting completely wrecked. And you think, how much more damage can Mob take? Even the huge ball of skyscrapers comes crashing down right on top of Mob. The amount of destruction and devastation in this episode is unreal. I don't think who's gonna build the city back? There's nobody gonna be around to build this whole thing back. I think I know they evacuated or whatever, but this place is gonna be destroyed for like forever. At this point, it looks like Mob is completely defeated, and Suzuki has not had enough yet, and Mob's like, no, I'm not gonna fight you anymore. I'm done. But Suzuki does not stop there. He starts beating the crap out of Mob, and Mob just doesn't want to fight. But I think he blasts Mob with something, and he goes for more attacks, and Mob goes psycho again. Completely nuts. He starts to he grabs Suzuki, for one, and holds him in place. And Suzuki's whole body starts to contort and twist. You see his fingers twist. His arm starts going back. It's like, oh my god, Mob is literally trying to wrangle this guy like he is a wet rag. Like a washcloth or something. He's just twisting this guy. And it's disgusting the way it looks and sounds. It's amazing, but disgusting. I mean, you see the anger in Mob's eyes. He has red eyes. Is that not enough to show how rageful he is? I mean, he's trying to kill Suzuki at this point. I don't know how Suzuki survives this. His body is completely twisted where his head's all the way around. His arms and legs are all the way around. How does he live through this? I don't understand. But he manages to blast his way out by using 100% of his power. And Mob is just awestruck by this and just gets blasted away. Blown away completely by 100% of this guy's power. It's incredible. I mean, Mob is trying to keep this energy back, and he doesn't know if he can, and then he remembers his friends, and it's yeah, we get the cliche, yes, my friends, I have to protect them, blah, blah, blah. And he manages to, not die from this attack, and gets hit underground. And it's my god, this fight just keeps getting better and better. The stakes keep going up and up and up. It's incredible. I was speechless after this episode. When Suzuki shows up to where Mob is, he looks like a freaking demon. What the hell happened to his body? It's all muscular, and then he has flames all over him. He looked like a Ghost Rider or something. He had a skull-looking face with flames on it. This guy looked like a demon. He didn't look like human whatsoever anymore. And even Mob went to his shonen look, where he has courage, where his eyes are all shonen eyes or whatever. And he says, fight on, just like his friends say from the Body Improvement Club. Fight on. He goes in. My god, this fight. The punches that they exchange, the blasts that happen, it is god tier for sure. I've never seen an episode like this for such a long time that it was so refreshing to see. So far, this is definitely best anime of the year so far. We have a long year to go. Right now, this one wins. After the punch that Mob and him exchange, Mob's arm gets completely destroyed by the punch. You see blood spraying out of it. I mean, Mob's in bad shape. But then when you look at Suzuki, he's in worse shape than Mob. The guy looks like a zombie from Black Ops or something, from a Call of Duty game. And he even makes the same kind of sound like one of those zombies. He has his skin's all burnt. He has no hair. It's this guy looks like he's a corpse at this point. But he doesn't stop. The energy keeps building up and building up until it gets to where Mob can tell this is going to blow up. It's going to explode and kill everyone. So he rushes to his friends to tell them of the impending doom of this massive explosion so that they get the hell out of there. And then he goes back to Suzuki And it's weird that at first I'm like, why would he do that? Is he trying to like finish him off or see how it turns out? But he goes to Suzuki, returns to him, and Suzuki's back to like, he has hair again, and his body is all not as muscular as it was, and he has like these blue veins on him. Like, you can tell he has so much energy he can't control it anymore, and he's just about to explode. And Mob goes right next to him and puts a barrier around them because he wants to protect Suzuki, or like contain the explosion with Suzuki. And Suzuki's like, why would you do this? And he's like, because you're like me, and I don't want you to be alone and suffering alone like how I was, so I'm gonna be here for you. It's like, wow. Even through all this, Mob is still so genuine and good-hearted that he's one of my favorite anime characters at the moment. This is another reason why I like Deku from My Hero Academia, is because they're so genuine. The characters themselves are so good-hearted and genuine people that I can relate to them more. Not because I'm saying I'm genuine, but I mean, it feels more human than just being cool, being brave, being amazing, whatever. It's just they have feelings for others that surpasses everybody else's, and it's a really refreshing thing to see people like that. I mean, Mob even goes as far to say as, I want to save you. He tells Suzuki, I want to save you. And it kind of changes Suzuki in a bit. You see a flashback where you get to see what happened with Suzuki's wife. So apparently he used to be a very gentle and nice person when they were married and they had their son Sho. But something changed within him when he got psychic powers. He became like an executive boss. He became like a mob boss in a way. He had this mentality that he was better than everyone else, and power was what ruled the world. And his wife left him for this. He lost everything. And he has regrets. And he's like, he wanted to see her again, but his ego just wouldn't let him. At this point, Mob tries to like absorb all this energy into his own body, but I mean, he's screaming in pain. Kudos to the voice actor for Mob, because they did an amazing job with this. I mean, it sounded like he was in agony while he was trying to contain this, and he doesn't contain it. It blows up on a nuclear scale. I mean, it looks exactly like a nuclear bomb went off and just destroyed everything. I don't know how Reigen and all them survive, but they do. And it reminded me of Hunter x Hunter when Netero detonated himself against the Chimera Ant Meruem. If that's spoilers for you, I'm so sorry. That came out in 2011. So if you haven't watched it by then, go watch Hunter x Hunter, because that's an amazing anime as well. So it cuts from the nuclear explosion to Mob getting dug out from the rubble. And it's like, how much time has passed since then? Everybody's healed. So it's like, did the energy from that bomb somehow heal everybody? Or like, what's going on? I don't understand what happened or how it happened, but Mob's alive. He is perfectly fine. After that, it kind of speeds up a little bit to wrap things up, where everybody kind of goes their separate ways. They go to like find somewhere to stay or to live because the city's like destroyed. They tried stealing some some outfits from the body improvement club's like room, and they got caught. It was really funny, but everything's chill, everything's good. Everyone kind of separates, and you see a giant broccoli in the middle where the explosion was. So the nuclear blast turned into a broccoli. It was the weird. What the hell was that? Where did this broccoli come from? That was a huge broccoli looking tree in the middle of the whole city. And you get the explanation later on what that is. But for now, it moves on to the group of espers. That little group of espers that were really weak with that guy who was like studying them or whatever. They disband. They don't want to be experimented on anymore. So they all go their separate ways. Although they do suggest to hang out every once in a while to be friends. So that was good. All the people who were in Scar, the Scar groups or whatever, or in Claw, they go their separate ways. All of their scars are healed. I don't know what that means. It's like everybody in this vicinity got healed after the explosion happened. It's really weird. I hope they explain it in the next season. I hope it's the next season. Oh my god, there has to be a next season after this. But everyone goes their separate ways and decide what they want to do with their life. Suzuki is alive, apparently. He lived this explosion of power, and he gets imprisoned. They arrest him. I think it was Joseph was the guy or whatever, the CIA agent or whatever. He arrests Suzuki. And Sho tells him, like, you're gonna get an earful from mom. You're gonna see mom again, but you're gonna get like a talking to from her. So it moves on from that. I wonder if we'll ever see Suzuki again, or Sho, or any of them, because they were pretty important players to this story. So I hope we see them again. And so the explanation for the giant broccoli was that Mob had put broccoli seeds in a pocket right here in his chest, and while he was containing the energy from Suzuki's explosion, it grew, that psychic energy grew those seeds into a gigantic freaking plant. Which makes sense because he can use psychic powers to make plants grow. So it only makes sense that all of this freaking humongous energy made the plants grow into an enormous size. So they're like, oh snap, that was us. They're like, oh no, let's not say anything, let's just keep quiet and nobody will know. So Katsuya returns and he wants to work for Reigen, which is good. He's like stepping up in the world. He doesn't need his umbrella anymore. And he decides, I'm gonna work for you. He's still nervous and everything, but he gets a new makeover. He gets his hair cut, his mustache, whatever, shaved. I need to shave, but that's a different story. But he's looking like he's doing better now. He actually looks pretty good. I like his design for, like, he looks, if he could just work on his persona a little bit, he'd actually be a really professional looking guy. So that's pretty much the end of this episode. I mean, we get a shot of the broccoli again. I wonder if it'll be important. Is it going to be like a big deal in the next season of Mob Psycho? Let me know what you guys think. What an amazing season this has been. This episode gets a 10 out of 10. This season gets a 10 out of 10. This everything, Mob Psycho, 10 out of 10. Animation, the music, the story, it was an incredible ride, and I'm so glad I got to experience it in the way on YouTube like this. So thank you so much for joining me on this ride. There's so much anime coming out this month in April, so I'm gonna try to review all of them. But for now, just like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment of what your favorite part of this season was or this episode. Let me know what you guys think. If you think there's going to be another season of Mob Psycho, I hope there is, but I haven't heard anything about it. Check out my gameplay reviews of Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Walking Dead. I got my monthly meme reviews and load of content for all of you to check out. Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified when I make new stuff. And I'm gonna do a live stream. When this video comes out, I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow, which is Thursday, to talk about the whole season of Mob Psycho Season 2 as a whole, and also The Promised Neverland Season 1, because I watched that, but I didn't review it. But I heard there's a Season 2 for that, so I will be reviewing Season 2 of The Promised Neverland next year. But stay tuned for that live stream. Join me, and I'll try to keep it spoiler-free compared to these these singular reviews. But we'll see how it works. Thank you so much again for watching, and have yourselves a great one.